welcome back. So new format to all of this. Instead of doing a 15, 20, 30-minute video where you got to figure out where you want to see, I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom line up front initially, just to give you an idea of what's going to be in the video. So forget the fluff, give me the bluff. That's what my old boss used to say. So we hit 500 miles in the truck yesterday, which was pretty awesome. It's also my truck's 1 week birthday. I got it last week on Tuesday, and now it's Tuesday. Did the first full tank of fuel in it and calculated the mileage the old-fashioned way. Got 15.1, driving around in sport mode, spirited driving, having a whole bunch of fun. After this fill up, now that we have a new tank, I'm driving just to and from work on the freeway, trying to see what kind of mileage I can get. Talk a little bit about the headlights, the fact that they're those active headlights where when you turn the wheel, the headlights go a little bit, so it's not pointing where you're looking, it's pointing where you're going. And then we'll have footage of that in the actual video. The seat warmer on the driver's side, I'm assuming on the passenger side, goes all the way up to your shoulders, so that's kind of neat. I've always had it where it's lower back. Let's see. We're going to talk about the adaptive cruise control in stop and go traffic, and then how it does when a car like kind of cuts you off, or when they stop fast, how it reacts compared to how you would react. Then we're going to talk about the auto start stop feature of this thing. Is it hard on the starter and the battery? Someone told me that it was just compressing one cylinder with fuel in there, and then when you want to restart it, just ignites it. There's no way that's the case, because you can hear the starter going, and I've got some footage of that too. And then I'm going to do a quick stereo review, just initial thoughts on it, very short, maybe a minute talking about it. Spoiler alert, it's good. With a couple $100, you could replace some of the speakers. I think the power is there. Some speakers would make it clear up a little bit. It's a bit muddy, but it's still pretty darn good for what it is. And I haven't really messed with the settings too much, but all it is a treble, mids, and bass, and you can slide them a little bit. There's not a whole lot more to it than that. And then future videos, I'm going to do a in-depth stereo review where I take the subwoofer out of the back of the truck and we look at it. I'm going to take a door panel off. We're going to look at the speakers and see if they're like paper cones or if they're actually high quality. And then there's one speaker in the dash where, to be honest, that's where most of the sound you're hearing comes from. It's coming up, bouncing off the windshield, so that center channel is a majority of what it is. So if you're only going to replace one speaker, that'd be the one I'd replace. And then I also was able to get the skid plates off the front, the bash guard in the front, and then the skid plate underneath the transmission, or I'm sorry, it was the engine oil pan, and then the whole transmission. And spoiler alert, the transmission oil pan, or transmission fuel pan.
Why can't I remember? I wrote this stuff. Why can't I remember it? We suppose we open. Listen, I've got to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day from anyone. That includes me. It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable for everybody. Want anybody yelling? We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the shit is going to hit the fan. Tony, give me a towel for just a minute, please. That...
The engine oil pan are all plastic. So we'll go into that a little more in the next video. I don't think that's a terrible thing. At first I was like, you got to be kidding me, it's plastic. And I did a little more research. I mean, Glocks are made out of plastic and they're awesome. So anyway, that's what's going to be in the video. This took a little longer than I wanted because I've got so much I love about this truck and I just want to get out there. But feel free to stop here. You know a little bit about it. If you want to see the footage about any of those things, continue on. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'm really looking forward to doing the next videos about the stereo and the skid plates or the undercarriage of it. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. $500! Woohoo! Yeah! I hit 500 miles today, so I've had a chance to really get out and drive this car a little bit. This is going to be my first full fill up, so I'm going to start doing some math and figure out what kind of mileage I was getting, see if I can rely on the mileage that the car tells me it's getting. So I'll let you know. So somebody asked me right now, the car is locked, but you can still open the fuel door. It's kind of a bummer. It would have been nice. I mean, the tailgate locks, why not have a lock on here too? So in case you were wondering, car can be locked, fuel door is not. 87 octane fuel is the minimum. I put the higher octane in it, but that's just a personal choice. I think these trucks, the EcoBoost engines, will advance timing if the octane's high enough. And then if you have to put the lower octane in, it'll sense it and then it'll retard the timing back a little bit. So you won't have any issues, but you won't get the full performance out of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the way I understand it. That's how my Focus ST was. 20-gallon tank. We're at 15 now. I think my BMW had a 16-gallon tank, so never got this high up. All right. Okay, so 16.75 gallons, and we've gone 253.6 miles. This is not really looking good. I think we're going to be in the high 15, low 16 range. Let's see here, so 253.6 divided by 16.75. 15.1 miles to the gallon, and it says 15.3, so it's relatively accurate. So my first drive when I bought this truck was from the dealership in Maryland back to my house in Virginia. It was all on 2-lane highways going about 65-ish, 70 miles an hour, and I got 19 miles to the gallon. Then the next day I drove into work from out by Dulles Airport into Washington, D.C. So it's about 40 miles each way. And most of that's on the freeway, but I'd say about 4 or 5 miles of that is city. And I averaged 18.4 there. But then for the last week, I've just been driving around like a crazy person in sport mode, having as much fun as I could in this car, and brought the gas mileage down to the 15 range. So the next 3 days will be a little more responsible to and from work, just driving in traffic and going with the flow. So we'll see what some sane driving can do. Okay, so let's talk headlights on this Ranger. They are the kind that turn when you turn, I think. Yep, so when you turn the steering wheel, the headlights turn a little bit just to kind of show you what you're going to, not what's right in front of you. And they're really good. They're very wide. They light up, everything in front of you to about 6 feet high. And I've had cars where the headlights were garbage and you couldn't see anything, and then this one's actually really good. And I do like the fact that they kind of move a little bit when you turn. I've had other cars that do that. It's nice. And then when you get back in a car that doesn't, when you get into a turn, you realize how much you miss it. So just another cool feature. So one other thing I was going to talk about, the seat warmers in this. I've already said they have seat warmers. It's great. The steering wheel warmer is great. It's all the way around. But in the seat warmer, it's all the way warm, like up to your shoulders. So it heats up to here even, which is cool. Most of the cars I've been in, it just kind of heats your lower back and then your legs. So this one going all the way up to your shoulders is nice. I had an injury like 20 plus years ago. I still have issues with my neck and shoulders. And I think I'll probably just drive with the seat heater on all the time because it feels good, and it kind of, I don't think it makes a big difference, but it feels good, loosens up the muscles a little bit. So in case you're wondering, seat heater goes all the way up to your shoulders. So for the auto start stop on these vehicles, somebody told me that it actually holds compression in one of the cylinders with some fuel in there, so that when you come off the brake, it will detonate that and start it back up. So stopped. I'm gonna turn that off so it's quiet. Here's the startup. To me, that sounds like there's a starter involved. You hear for like that half second where it's some sort of motor going, so it's not just detonating fuel that's been sitting in there. I wonder how that's going to affect over time, using that little surge of battery, using the starter over and over and over and over. I did see a YouTube video where they talked to an engineer and they said they used an upgraded battery, an upgraded starter for this very thing, but just seems like additional wear and tear to me. So I'll still be turning it off. Another quick video of an auto start stop. Listen in, you can hear the actual starter. So it's definitely not just combusting one compressed cylinder and getting the whole thing started again. One more time. It's like a normal startup. So here's a quick video of the interior sound inside the 2024 Ranger Raptor. I mean, you can hear that diesel ram next to me as we drove by, but inside the Ranger, you hear some tire noise, not super surprising, almost zero wind noise, which is very impressive. And then you've got a little bit of exhaust. I have the exhaust in the quiet mode right now. So overall, very impressive on the inside of this thing. It's quiet. I listen to my audiobooks to and from class. And then again, the stereo is good. It doesn't have a lot of noise inside that it has to overcome. So one of the next videos will be about the stereo. We'll go into that in depth. I'll take some panels off, show you the speakers, and we'll just go from there. All right, cheers.
Lorianne said okay, I might go now and get them. Avery's mouth hurts. Would you like to reply?
Yes.
What do you want to say to Lorianne?
Okay, just let me know if you need me to stop, and I can go get whatever it is that you guys need.
It says, okay, just let me know if you need me to stop and I can go get whatever it is that you guys need. Do you want to send it or change it?
Send it.
Done.
All right, so there's an example of the sync. If a text message comes in, you can touch it. It'll tell you what it said, give you an option to respond. It does the voice to text and then sends it out. Pretty awesome.
Lorianne said okay. Would you like to reply?
No.
Okay.
So one of the things I'm trying to find out, I'm driving home from DC, so we're gonna hit some traffic. I'm in normal mode and I have auto start stop engaged right now. So when we come to a complete stop, I'm curious if it's gonna shut the engine down in traffic, and then when traffic starts moving, if it's gonna bring it back on, or if I'm gonna have to do something, either resume it or touch the gas. But we'll see what happens here. My feet are completely off the brake and the gas right now. We're slowing down. I'll probably have to wait till we get a little further up to get some footage of an actual stop, but I'm curious to see what happens, and I'll let you guys know. All right, here we are, coming to a stop. Maybe. Nope, just a slow roll. False alarm. Sitting in traffic, feet off the gas and the brake, just sitting here, slowing down for me. Hands off the steering. I mean, you're supposed to hold the steering wheel because it'll tell you put your hands on the steering wheel if you don't, but it is keeping me in my lane. It does like to get closer to the passenger side lane line than I'm comfortable with, but here we go. This might be the test. So if we come to a complete stop for long enough, is it going to shut the engine off? And if it does, when we start moving again, we stopped and we started going, but it didn't turn the engine off because it wasn't long enough. So maybe next time. All right, so it does a pretty good job of braking and not getting too close. Now, if they had slammed on the brakes and they were pretty far out in front, the car keeps going. Like, as the driver, you would take your foot off the gas and start hitting the brake. This gets way closer than I would feel comfortable with if the cars in front of you are at a dead stop. So as great as adaptive cruise control is, you still got to be paying attention. You can't just you know, read a book or something. Yeah, so I'm still waiting for traffic to come to a complete stop so I can test my theory on the auto start stop in traffic and if it resumes itself. And then someone was asking me about the oil pressure, and I can't remember what the question was, so I'll have to get back to you on that one. All right, so traffic in front of us is pretty much stopped, and here we go. A little more significant braking than I would have done. Waited a little bit to do it. I totally just want to take the carpool lane and avoid this traffic, but I'm also very curious about this coming to a stop in traffic with the auto start stop and the adaptive cruise control. So I'm going to bear with it and make this happen. Ooh, is this it? Nope. Come on, man. Okay, so the battery on these glasses got really low, so I took them out, put them back in the case to charge, and of course we came to a stop. And what happened was the auto resume thing came on telling me that it was going to resume itself again. Here we go. Maybe this will be it. So let's see if we come to an actual stop here. So we're at a stop. It says auto resume and the engine turned off and it turned back on. There we go. Task complete. That's actually pretty awesome. Good to know. So you don't have to do anything. Okay, doing it again with the music off. Sorry about that. Coming to a complete stop. Says auto resume there. Engine shut off. We're just sitting here saving gas. Car starts back up, starts going again. That's awesome. Engineers are smart. Okay, that's it. Okay, I thought we were coming to a stop. Turns out we're not. So instead, we'll do a sneak preview of future video, stereo quality. So, gonna turn this back on. So the thing with stereo reviews, it doesn't do much good when I'm recording on on a microphone that's not really made for this, and then it's going to come over YouTube, and then you're going to watch it on whatever device you're watching it on. So maybe you guys are audiophiles and you have amazing setups, but if my mic here isn't good enough, you can't get a good idea. So you just have to trust that I have an idea of what I'm talking about and have listened to other stereos in the past and can compare this. As far as like a Harman Kardon in a BMW, for example, I would say that this, oh, look at that. Slow down for us. All right, gonna do a quick stereo, not really a review. I'm gonna do a whole video about a stereo review in the future where I take panels off, show you the speakers, take the sub out of the back and show you that as well. But overall, sounds pretty good. A little bit muddy, but I haven't really messed with the settings to adjust. All you have is treble, mids, bass, you know, swipe left, swipe right. So you can turn everything up and down. So I will get into that. From the factory, everything down the middle, I mean, not crystal clear, but also when you look at the speakers, they're just paper cones. There's no like nice dome tweeters or anything like that. You can get aftermarket. I will be replacing most of the speakers, keeping the stock power just to get more clarity, not more volume. And then I'll probably replace the subwoofer as well. But overall, for what it is, these glasses only record for 1 minute at a time. So overall, for what it is, it's a really good stereo. I like it. Without spending thousands of dollars on aftermarket, it is as good as you're gonna get, I think. I would say it's not quite on par with Harman Kardon from like the BMWs, but very good. I think they emphasize more the bass and the mids in this than Harman Kardon is a full, like everything about it is higher quality. So that makes it sound like this has a lot of bass. It does not have a lot of bass. But it is a ported 6-inch sub. So anyway, I'm just rambling. Wait for the real video when I actually show you stuff.
And drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me. People like you.
So sorry if that was loud and you were wearing headphones and I just blew out your eardrums, but I wanted you to hear the stereo. This is a song with a whole lot of highs and mids, almost no bass. But
with an whole soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows.
I mean, I'm impressed with it. I like it. I will probably be upgrading speakers, but as it stands right now, it is pretty good. Better than like anything I've had in a Toyota. Not quite as good as the stereos I've had in a BMW.
Dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Cause the rich man, the rich man.
So the stereo is pretty good. I just love the line right here.
Look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame.
It's over!